So hi there everybody and welcome to the Voosestore YouTube channel. My name is Arper and today we're going to look at a bunch of accessories for the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema 4K camera. Stay tuned. So the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K has been out for a while now, but it's actually only until first now that people are getting their hands on it in massive scale. And we wanted to share some of the accessories that are available for this camera. It being a proper cinema camera, you have to think about accessories while you're building it up. And you should think about how you shoot and from there go and build your setup. So first off, which lenses do you intend to use with this camera? Of course, being a Micro Four Thirds system, you can adapt more or less any type of lenses to this camera. One popular adapter is the Viltrox Speed Booster, which lets you put on Canon EF lenses on this camera. But of course, Viltrox makes other adapters as well, so you can put other lenses on this camera. Let's have a look at the cage. Now this is the small rigg 2203 cage, and it's a full cage. I think that it's really important to have a cage on this camera because it lets you protect the camera. The build of this camera isn't probably the best build in the world, so it's really nice to have something to protect it. And it lets you put accessories on your camera. You have a NATO rail on the left, which lets you put handles. And you have a NATO rail on top as well. So you can put a top handle like this from small rigg. Now small rigg makes three types of cages. We have the full cage here, and we also have a half cage, which lets you use the grip of the camera without interrupting it at all. They also make a third cage, and it's also a half cage, but this one has a quick release plate, which is really nice if you want to use your camera on a gimbal or you want to change setups really fast. Now small rigg makes a bunch of different accessories for this camera. One being this wooden handle, which lets you put SSDs in it. It's actually made for the Samsung T5s, but here I'm using an SSD from Angelbird and it fits really great. They also make this T5 Samsung holder which goes on top, and even there the Angelbird SSD works perfectly. If you're not using SSDs, they have this wooden handle which is really great, which you can put on and you can hold the camera really firm. This wooden handle from small rigg lets you put microphones on top. Now if you want to have rods on your system, they make this base plate which is made for this system. So you have a quick release plate so you can take off the base plate really easy. Or if you only want one rod, for those people who want like a follow focus or anything like that, you have that opportunity here as well. And probably my favorite accessory is this monitor holder from small rigg, which is really cool. And you can put on a monitor and you can adjust which stiffness you want on your setup. Small rigg also makes a V-lock battery holder, which is really great. And if you're looking to use V-mount batteries, this is going to be a nice and secure way to have it on your setup. Now when it comes to media, you have three options with this camera. You can either go and use an SSD, which is a really cool feature, which lets you get a lot of storage for quite cheap. And as I said, there are different options to mount these SSDs. As I said, this is an Angelbird version. So Angelbird makes something called a matchback, which is a collaboration between Angelbird and Blackmagic, where they make both a CFast card and an SSD, which is compatible with your camera. Now one thing that is a must with this camera is having access to an external monitor. And there are two monitors that I really recommend. The first being the Atomos Shinobi, a really lightweight and bright screen. And it is a 5-inch screen. It has a touch touchscreen panel with a really great interface, and this is probably my favorite monitor to use with this camera. Because I use the GH5 as well, I actually have the big brother, the Atmos Ninja, but it's basically the same screen, except this screen doesn't record and it's a little bit cheaper. And the biggest feature of the Shinobi is the brightness. It comes up to 1000 nits, which lets you use this camera in daylight and you can see more or less everything. Now, the second monitor that I recommend is the Fieldworld 279. This is a 7-inch monitor, and the greatest feature of this is that it has a crazy brightness of 2300 nits, which lets you see more or less everything when you're outside. The interface isn't as good as on this as on the Shinobi, and it is a little bit bigger and clunkier to use. The biggest downside of this monitor is probably the battery life. On full brightness it will eat a lot of battery, so that's a thing to think about. Now, one thing that I really like to use while I'm shooting is to have access to an EVF. And EVFs are crazy expensive. You could actually put more money into your EVF than to your camera. But a cheap alternative is the Fieldworld 3.5 electronical EVF. This is not a perfect EVF at any source, but for the money it's actually great, because there are so many situations where an EVF is crucial to getting your focus and knowing exactly what you shoot. Now, Blackmagic themselves make a couple accessories for the camera, one being the cable pack that is used to power your system. In the box you get 3 different cables, but the ones I use most is the D-tap cable to use V-mount batteries with, or the normal DC cable that I use with gimbals. Now, when it comes to audio, you have great options for this camera. And also here, Blackmagic makes a mini XLR to a normal XLR cable, which is essential to use with proper shotgun mics. Now, on my own channel, I made a video where I talk about the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K and a gimbal, and it's the Moza Air 2. And to me, this is a great combination. It's not perfect because you can't control everything on the camera from the gimbal, but there are some great features on it. One is that you can use the full cage from SmallRig and put it straight on this gimbal, which you can't do on all the other gimbals out there. And second is that you can actually power your camera from this gimbal directly, but of course you will need some spare batteries for that. We will be having a look at the tilt accessories really soon, so please subscribe to the channel for more videos about accessories on this camera. So if you have any questions about any items on this table that I've shown you in the video, please comment in the comment section and we will try to get back to you as fast as we can. So this video is actually shot on the Kinefinity Mavo LF, which is a full frame censored camera. And we will be making reviews and test shots on that camera. So if you want to see those videos, please subscribe to our channel. And as I said, if you have any questions for us, please let us know in the comments. And until the next time, bye bye.